Hello everyone, I am happy to see you again and I welcome you all for today's lecture. Now we will discuss the second part of the centroid, that is moment of inertia. Here in this module we will discuss what is moment of inertia and how to identify for the components. Generally the components section is only been considered, that is the shape of the component. The component may be a beam or mechanical parts, all types of mechanical and metal parts. So you can identify the moment of inertia for all the objects. So let us discuss how to identify the moment of inertia of the objects. So if you want to find the moment of inertia, there are two principles which helps to identify the inertia. First is a parallel axis theorem. In this theorem, you will be having a formula in order to quantify the moment of inertia of a particular object towards any reference point. The parallel axis theorem states that if you are having any object, say for example this is an irregular object and all the object has a mass, we know that throughout the universe all the object has some mass, and also there is a point called centroid. For all the mass there is a certain point where the masses are concentrated at a particular point. This is known as G. And for all the materials you are having a shape of a material. So you should consider the shape of the material, and if you consider any shape there will be area. You can find area of that shape, and eventually you can also find the centroid of the area. There will be a particular point where all the area is being concentrated, through that gravitational force is being transferred. So you have to find the G first. In this irregular section it is found that G is to be acting on XX plane. So this is the XX plane. Along with this plane you are having a centroid. Also there is a reference point. Here you can see a reference plane is 1 1, is being indicated as 1 1. And if you want moment of inertia at the reference plane, that is moment of inertia generally is indicated by the letter I, capital I. If you want moment of inertia at 1 1, that is I for inertia, I stands for inertia, and 1 1 is a plane. If you want moment of inertia of this plane, then what you have to do according to the parallel axis theorem, you have to find the moment of inertia at the parallel to the plane. So what is the axis parallel to the plane? This is horizontal reference point. So for a horizontal reference point, generally we will be assuming XX axis. So in a centroid, a line passes through the centroid which is known as the XX plane. So if you want moment of inertia of the plane 1 1, first you have to find the moment of inertia at the XX axis, that is Ixx plus area into y bar square. What do you mean by area? That is, area is the total area of the object. You have to find the area and then y bar square. What do you mean by y bar is? Y bar is the distance between the reference plane and the parallel plane, that is x-axis. The distance between x-axis and the reference plane is known as the y bar. If you square with this answer, generally you will get the moment of inertia towards the plane. You can set this plane either at any point. You can set this point exactly at the bottom of the object or at the xx plane alone. You can make this reference point at the centroid of this axis too. You can make at any of the distance and find the moment of inertia of an object. Also, if you are considering this object in another plane, this is y plane, and the reference plane here it is given as vertical, it is 2 2. If you want moment of inertia about vertical plane, then the object is being given here. For this object you have to find the centroid. From the centroid, the parallel axis from the reference axis is yy axis. Here you are considering the reference plane in x-axis, hence you are considering xx plane. If you want to find the moment of inertia in vertical mode, then you have to take a reference point in vertical direction and you have to coincide with the centroid. You have to consider the centroid y plane. And if you are considering vertically, the same formula will be set to be as Ixx I22. What do you mean by 22? Inertia at the reference point 22. That is Iy bar. This is Iy bar is the inertia at the axis, at the yy axis. That is I plus A into x bar square. A is area of this object and this the distance between the reference plane and the y axis is known as the x bar. You have to square the x bar. Note here that if you consider horizontal plane, you have to consider the vertical distance. See here, if you are considering I11 as horizontal, the formula here will be y bar. Y is vertical always, and if you want moment of inertia of vertical plane, you have to consider the distance of x of horizontal distance. This is the difference between these two concepts. This is the concept which will give a better understanding. So parallel axis theorem is used for identifying the moment of inertia of any object. And if you want Ix, moment of inertia at x-axis, what you have to do is you have to sum of all the elemental area. Considering that this is an area, whole area, you have to consider an elemental area of a small strip. You have to add all the areas by considering the small strip. Why? Because why we are considering a small strip is due to the irregularity of the shape. If you are having exactly a square shape and a rectangle shape, we can identify a certain formula to calculate the Ix, that is inertia at x-axis. If we are not knowing a perfect area towards all the section, hence you want to proceed with this. So this parallel axis theorem is used for identifying the moment of inertia for built up section. Particularly if you want to identify the moment of inertia of a composite section or an irregular section, parallel axis theorem which is very much helpful. For a general shape, that is square, rectangle and circle, we are having a definite formula for finding moment of inertia. If you are having more number of complication in an object, then you need parallel axis theorem in order to solve the problem. So if you want to find inertia at x-axis, you have to sum of dA, the small area, into y square. Here you note that the y is distance from the centroid. starting from the centroidal axis to the area, which is known as y. There is two terms here which you have to understand clearly, that y and y bar. What do you mean by y? Y is the distance between the centroid to the elemental area, which is known as y, and y bar is the distance between the reference point to the centroidal axis, which is known as y bar. Here you are having two components of y bar and y, which will be understood clearly when you are solving a problem. The next theorem is perpendicular axis theorem. This theorem is generally used for identifying moment of inertia of a circular section. Perpendicular axis theorem, which is used for identifying the moment of inertia about x-axis. If you are having a symmetrical object, you know the moment of inertia of two sides, that is x-axis and y-axis. You know the two axes. All the objects have three dimensions. Here in moment of inertia, we will consider only two dimensions of an object, and perpendicular axis theorem is used to identify the moment of inertia of the third dimension, that is z axis. Say for example, in this picture you can see x and y axis, also the z axis. When we are finding moment of inertia, we will consider only two axes, and all the practical object does have three dimensions. So if you find moment of inertia of two dimensions, then you can find the third dimension moment of inertia by using the perpendicular axis theorem. That is, if you know the moment of inertia at x-axis and if you know moment of inertia of y-axis, then you can find the z-axis moment of inertia by using the perpendicular axis theorem. You have to add the two moment of inertia in order to find the inertia at x direction. Also, this perpendicular axis theorem is used to identify the moment of inertia for a circular object. If you are having circular object, you can find the moment of inertia at x and y plane by using the formula which is known as r square equal to x square plus y square. Here r is known as the radius. So if you find the moment of inertia in x-axis and y-axis, you can find the moment of inertia in between these two axes, that is r. In this r axis, if you want moment of inertia, then you can find by using the perpendicular axis theorem. So next we will look into a moment of inertia for a definite shape, that is a common shape. First we will discuss a rectangle. If you want moment of inertia of a rectangle, so how to find that? You are having a rectangle here which is having a breadth of b and depth of d. You want the moment of inertia of a whole figure about x axis. Here you can see that this is y axis which is vertical and the x axis is horizontal. The center point is taken as centroid. So of the section of this rectangle section, you know the centroid. You should know the centroid first in order to proceed this concept. So we need moment of inertia of xx plane. So what is the formula to find moment of inertia of any section? First you have to know the area into distance square. What is the area? That is area of a elemental strip. So if you want moment of inertia at x axis, first we will consider an elemental strip, that is its depth is assumed as dy, where the total depth is assumed as d and this small depth is assumed as dy, and the distance between the x-axis and the area is known as assumed as y here. For finding moment of inertia, we will use area into distance square. What is the area here? The elemental area is dy breadth into depth. So breadth here is b and depth here is dy. So that is why b into dy. This is the area into distance square. What is the distance? Is y square. So this is the distance from x axis to the area, that is y. So you have to square this. This is the parallel axis theorem. By using this theorem, we will identify for the moment of inertia of xx axis. Here you can wonder that where is the plane 1 1, the reference plane. In the interest, we assume that the moment of inertia of the whole figure about xx axis. Here the 1 1 plane and the xx axis both are coinciding. That is why here the 1 1 axis is not being considered. Both are same. Xx and 1 1 axis are same here. That is why it is mentioned here as moment of inertia of a whole figure about xx axis. So we are considering from the xx axis. That is why the 1 1 axis is not indicated here. So if you integrate the area into distance square, why to integrate is, if you want, there are n number of elemental strips. You can divide the rectangle into small elemental strip of each and every distance of this area. Hence, for all the top part of the x plane is being assumed as y and dy. So that is why if you integrate, you will be getting all the elemental strip area. So we are integrating, we are having a distance, overall distance of d. So the centroid will generally act at d by 2 from the bottom. This you have to know that the centroid concept, then you will understand this. While discussing in centroid, we found out that the centroid will act exactly at d by 2 of a section. So that is why the distance between the bottom to the centroid of xx is d by 2, and from the centroid the top section will also be d by 2. So we are considering minus d by 2 plus d by 2. Why? Because if this is an axis, the bottom part is considered as negative and top part is considered as positive. So we are considering the xx axis as a 0 0 plane. If you consider this 0 0, then this will be d by 2 in plus and this will be d by 2 in minus this distance. Hence minus d by 2 and plus d by 2 is the limit. So if you integrate this element, you will be getting y square. So the y square, if it is integrated, y cube divided by 3, you have to substitute the d by 2 upper and lower limit. If you substitute both the limit and simplifying, you will be getting b d cube divided by 12. So this is the moment of inertia about xx axis. So this is xx axis, I stands for moment of inertia and x here stands for the axis. So moment of inertia of xx axis is b d cube divided by 12. So this is the formula which you have to remember in order to solve the complicated section problem. So if you consider the same element in vertical strip, then you can find the moment of inertia of y axis. This you can try it by yourself. If you consider a small elemental strip in y axis, and the distance will be considered as x here. So with this x, area into distance, you have to apply the same concept, area into distance, to find the Iyy. If you proceed with this, you will be getting the answer as db cube divided by 12 as the answer for Iy, moment of inertia about y section. So this is the final answer of moment of inertia of both the section. So you are having two section of y and x axis. This is the formula for both the section. You have to remember in order to solve while identifying the moment of inertia for built up section. Now let's move on to a triangle. So this is a triangle. You need moment of inertia of a triangle about the x and y axis. So first we will find the moment of inertia of about x axis. In order to find the moment of inertia, first what is the formula, what is the concept for finding moment of inertia? That is area into distance square. So the area here is, let us consider a small elemental area. The small elemental area is taken as the depth dy and the breadth here is considered as b1 and the total breadth is known as b. The elemental breadth is known as b1. Now you want to find the area. How to find the area? That is this concept we have earlier discussed, so I will quickly recollect that there is a ratio between the greater triangle and the smaller triangle. Here you can see small triangle and a greater triangle. So by this relation b by d, so breadth is b and depth is d. So b by d equals b1, this is the small b, this is the smaller triangle's ratio, b1 and depth is d minus y. So d minus y. By this ratio we can find the b1. If you cross multiply here, you will know b1. Now if you know the breadth, the depth is considered as dy, so breadth into depth is known as the area of the strip. Next we shall find the moment of inertia about the bottom plane. That is, here the reference axis is AB. From this bottom, let us find the moment of inertia. If you want to find from the bottom, you have to identify the distance. So the distance of the elemental strip is y here. So area into distance square. You have found the area and the distance is y here. So we will substitute y square. The area is substituted here and y square. So if you simplify, after multiplying the component inside, you will be getting by square into dy minus by cube into dy by d. So this is the area into distance square simplification. And for finding all the elemental strip area, you have to integrate. So how to integrate this? Right now we have considered the reference as AB, so the limit here will be 0 to d. In the previous problem we have considered the reference plane as xx and we had a bottom area and the top area. That is why we have considered minus d by 2 and plus d by 2. But here we are considering the extreme bottom, that is why we are having the upper limit, we are not having the lower limit. It is considered as 0. So 0 to d. If you integrate both the terms, here y square will be there. If you integrate y square, y cube by 3 and the limit is 0 to d, and here you are having dy and y cube is here. So if you integrate y cube, remaining components will be taken out, y power 4 divided by 4, substituting the limit. After substituting this limit inside the component and simplifying, you will be getting bd cube divided by 3 minus bd cube divided by 4. So if you further simplify, you will be getting moment of inertia at AB. So we have considered only AB of a section, that is why we are getting moment of inertia of AB equals bd cube divided by 12. So this is the moment of inertia at AB. And if you want moment of inertia at x-axis axis, what you have to do? You have to draw a line y axis and x axis. So this axis coincide with the centroid and the centroid will act at 1/3 and 2/3. This you already know while discussing the centroid concept. So from the bottom, the centroid will act at 1/3 the remaining part will be acting at 2/3. Here you should know this concept. And if you need moment of inertia of x-x axis, you have to use this formula. This is parallel axis theorem formula. You know the moment of inertia of the reference plane of AB, and you know the area and y square. The only unknown is Ix bar. So while taking this outside, we know IAB is BD cube divided by 12 minus area here is area of the total area of the triangle. Area of the triangle is half BH. So half BH is considered as D here, half BD, and the distance square. What is the distance from the reference plane to the x-x axis is 1/3 of D. So here it is substituted as 1/3 of D square. Then if you simplify this equation, you will be getting BD cube divided by 36. So this is the final answer for finding the moment of inertia of a triangle with respective to the centroid of x-x axis. If you want from y-y axis, you have to consider the same concept. In a y strip, you have to consider a small elemental strip in y direction. The same procedure you have to follow. If you follow that, you will be getting Iyy as db cube divided by 36, the opposite of this equation. Instead of d cube, you have to substitute b cube. So you will be getting this answer. Next, we shall move into the moment of inertia of a circle. Let us consider a circle here, and this circle has x and y axis, and the centroid is known as the origin, which is known as O. And let us consider a small elemental circle of an area. So this is the small elemental strip of an area. Let us consider this as dx, and the distance from the origin, which is taken as x. Also, the total distance from the origin to the extreme of the object is known as the radius r. Here we will use the perpendicular axis theorem, which I have discussed earlier. For a circular element, the radius, through radius we will find the moment of inertia. If you find moment of inertia in about radius, then you can find the moment of inertia at x and y plane. Yes. So for finding moment of inertia, first you have to multiply area into distance square. Here the area is, how to find the area of a circle, which is known as 2 pi r, where r here is a small distance which is known as x. So 2 pi r into dx. So the thickness is dx, so we will get the area. So 2 pi x by 2 pi x dx is the area, and the distance square is the distance from origin, is known as x, and we will multiply x square, area into distance square. If you integrate, so from the origin to the extreme part, so the origin will be at 0 and the extreme part will be r. So that is why if we integrate 0 to r is the limit. So if you integrate with respect to x, you will be getting x power 4 by 4 of limit 0 to r. If you substitute the limit, you will be getting, after simplification, pi r power 4 divided by 2 is the moment of inertia in radius direction. Why we have considered the radius direction? How to find the moment of inertia of x and y plane? What you have to do, you have to use perpendicular axis theorem. The object is symmetrical about x and about y and x axis. If you cut the object in y axis, the same shape will be seen here, and also if you cut the object in x axis, you can see the same shape both in top and bottom. So that is why it is symmetry. So you will be getting same answer for Ixx and Iyy. So if you want inertia at z axis, Ixx and Iy can be added. So if you add this 2, you will be getting 2I. Here you know the Iz, that is known as radius, and if you divide it by 2, so if you want Ix bar, you can take it out. After taking it out, you know the Iz, that is pi r power 4 divided by 2. You have to substitute this instead of Iz. Then you will be getting the answer as pi r power 4 divided by 4. This is the moment of inertia at x and Iyy of the circular element. Note here that these three are very important concept of moment of inertia for three basic shape. If you know the three basic shape, you can find moment of inertia of most of the complicated shapes, that is rectangle, triangle and a circle. If you know the moment of inertia formula, you can easily find the moment of inertia of a complicated shape. If you want to find moment of inertia of a built-up section, right now we have discussed the steps for finding moment of inertia of a simple shapes. If you are having built-up section, that is combination of more simple component, which is known as built-up section. If you want to find moment of inertia for that, you have to follow the steps here. First, you have to find the centroid of the section. So you have to find each and individual centroid of the section, and you have to add the total area into distance for finding the centroid of x bar and y bar. The centroid at x and y axis you have to find initially. Then by using the two formula, that is, if you want moment of inertia of x axis, you should use this formula. The formula is I11 is the reference plane minus area into y bar square. Here A is area and y bar is the distance from reference plane versus the x axis. And if you want I11, the I11 is sum of Ix, that is sum of moment of inertia at of each and every individual shape plus sum of area into y square. So this is y square and this is y bar square. Find the difference you should. Next, if you want moment of inertia at y axis, you have to substitute I22 minus area into x bar square. If you want I22, you have to use I22. So these are the steps. First you have to find the centroid, then you have to find the moment of inertia by using the formula. So with this, I conclude the today's session. I hope you have understood the concept of moment of inertia of basic section. Happy learning. See you again. Thank you.